Darius, go. Darius, go, Darius. Go. You always like to do the intros, Darius.
Good morning. No, I lost it actually. I don't think I can do it anymore.
Oh, welcome to another week of Pantheon. It's Thursday. It's 9 p.m. Eastern, roughly. You already know things don't always start right on time. But Brother Stark was here right on time. And so was JD75, Sang Beto and Lawrence, and Groovy Fee. Hey.
Appreciate y'all. Uh-oh.
Groovy Fee's name is Felix, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
The FE doesn't stand for iron. little periodic table
joke. Jinx.
Oh no. How's everyone doing, bro? Last we heard, Marcus, you had not watched the film extraordinaire Sinners.
Oh, I've peeped. I have since peeped. I have. This alfalfa hair in my fro is killing me. I'm just about to cut it off. I'm cutting all this shit off.
With the same barber you always have, yeah?
Yes, yeah, for years.
When are you dropping your review?
It was supposed to already been up, so it'll be up in the morning. So yeah, just waiting on it.
Is it like in the...
Go?
Is it in the car? What kind of review is it?
Oh, I have the out of theater is already up on the page. If you haven't seen it already, head over to the back of the bus, check that short out. But in terms of the full review, that should be up in the morning. Saw it this past weekend, this past Saturday. We went to the drive-in and saw it. It was pretty good. Pretty good flick. We saw that, and unfortunately, it was playing with Minecraft. So,
you know what Chicken Jockey is yet?
Yes, I know who Chicken Jockey is, and I wish I didn't.
I'm good. I just got back from seeing Thunderbolts. That makes somebody. I didn't see it.
Interested to hear some reviews about that. God damn you, son of a gun.
You know, we wouldn't have noticed.
Well, I noticed.
Alfalfa over here.
Right? Like in an afro. Jesus Christ.
Shoot, so many things to talk about. You know where I want to start with? Negativity, okay? Well, negative and positive. James Gunn came out, remember, Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, and we got all these things that are supposed to be announced, and we were not really hyped for everything that he had announced, but at least we were happy he's got a plan, and he's at least showing us the vision. Of those things that he announced, we've seen a Superman movie trailer. We know he's filming Supergirl, and Lanterns is coming out. There's no Waller or Paradise Lost. We're getting...
No.
Creature Commandos came out too. I forgot that. But really, he hasn't been fulfilling things. I think the negative part, the positive part is he announced Sergeant Rock, and now that was been canceled. So that's positive. I never wanted to see Sergeant Rock. The negative thing is he is in the territory of Kathleen Kennedy. If he announces something, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. And so that's what I don't like to hear. Yeah, same level. Him, Kathy Kennedy, same worth.
He certainly doesn't have the reputation for it just yet, but it's heading there, right? Like to already have the reputation. And what has he had this job? With 3 years, maybe? Has it been 3 years yet since he has
3
job? Yeah. You already have the reputation of not fulfilling the promises that you make, of over promising, right? And so that certainly isn't good for, the future casting of your tenure, especially since the people that you were supposed to be replacing fell into the luckiest double dip in history with Minecraft and Sinners. So they ain't going nowhere. So you better get your act together over there at DC, because that upward mobility that just seemed endless for you could see the doors shutting on you very fastly. Like I said that. I said it a while ago, and people kind of think like, "Oh man, you hating on James Gunn?" I mean, listen, it just kind of is what it is. Like the man's on thin ice. I think some of the proposed or the rumored things that he's got going on with the Superman movie are very bold. They're very bold. No pun intended. I don't know where this goes. It feels like Superman do or die. Is what it feels like for him.
Berto, what's going on? And then Derpy Entertainment says the Marvel Glazer. Which one of us is the Marvel Glazer? We're what we see. There were a whole bunch of things that were announced, and now they're not happening anymore. We also noticed that the Batman movie was supposed to have happened by now. It's not happening anymore.
I really want to give them an out, but like until I know, and it's really sucks to say that, but like until I know what it is exactly is going on that's making that movie not happen, I can only assume that it's like studio politics until you tell me otherwise. If it is a personal matter, it would almost benefit them to just go ahead and say it's not happening and allow Matt Reeves to handle whatever it is that he's dealing with on his time and on his, but in terms of the project, if it's not going to happen, you should announce that and we should move forward and start adjusting the audience's expectations. There still seems to be this juggling about will they, won't they, will they, won't they? And that really isn't doing much, at least for me as an audience member. Maybe other people like it, the prospect of 2 Batmans or maybe no Batman. It just,
It does nothing for me either. I like continuity. I think that's your strength as a studio, and you don't go, well, we can do a different universe and a different Elseworld. That's called Elseworld, everyone. That's what we think storytelling is king. It was good. It was cool to hear that in January of 2023.
Yep.
And now it's not January 2023 anymore. So with that being said, Sergeant Rock, great news, right? It's gone. Never wanted to pay to see that movie. I didn't care about what they did with that portion. You have the rights to Static Shock and Green Lantern and Flash.
So much stuff. Yeah, like we're I guess maybe we're too close to the Flash, the last movie to kind of repurpose that. Although we probably should start thinking like who's our next Barry Allen.
We're not that close because think about how long it takes to produce a movie. It takes 2.5, 3 years. So get started now.
I'm saying into the release of the last one. I think they want to.
The last one was in 2022 in the summer.
Yeah, but it was it was memorable for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like I feel like when you have a crater like that, you should probably let the IP kind of cool off and give people time to forget about you. I don't think anybody's forgotten about the Flash.
It wasn't seen that much though.
It was maybe no, not for good reasons, but I don't think anybody's forgotten about the debacle that was that film. Not to mention all the controversy around it because of the lead actor. So I'm just saying there's probably other characters that they could probably delve into immediately that people have a more notable
that are bigger than Sergeant Rock.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm with you. Well, I saw Thunderbolts.
That's certainly a review. That's
it wasn't that close to Cavill and Corn Sweat. Yeah, but it wasn't a debacle either. I think most people like the Snyder Cut. Yeah. And most people like Superman.
Cavill's version was very popular.
The Flash wasn't that bad. I agree. He needs to just focus on the A-tier characters. Yeah.
Y'all are in a universe of 2. The Flash wasn't that bad.
Or the B-tier characters.
The Flash was trash. It was absolute garbage. That movie was hot garbage.
Darius, what do you think? Oh, yeah. Forgot. He's not here. Oh, he's probably watching too.
So, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was just good. Great story, message, powerful theme. So, I've that's kind of the gist of the review that I've gotten early on from Thunderbolts, and without delving too deep into it because I don't really care to expound on that much. But if MCU movies start to take the hard turn into morality messages, or they start wagging their finger at you, telling you how to live your life, or they start telling you about grief and any number of things that are in real world that you have to deal with every day, and focus less on the bang bang shoot 'em up, is that what everybody wants? I want to gauge the interest. I want to know, at least from our audience, are we okay with the MCU green knighting of it all? Like, is that what we going to go see the MCU films for now? Is that how far we've fallen?
I never went there for that. I want to see superheroics. When I go and see a Marvel movie, give me fantastic. Don't not Fantastic Four. Give me something that I can't see in another franchise, like guns and fighting and hand to hand stuff. I can see that in a lot of other franchises. So Thunderbolts, no matter how good this movie is, I don't care. I am not going to watch this movie or cheer for the movie or like be won over by the movie. It's
It's
about these
crazy how
Thunderbolts
they're
characters who are 5 people who use their hands to fight. Some of them are super soldiers, and there's nothing special there.
special
Plus,
about
I
it.
know their ranking in Marvel. I know that Thor is better. They're basically Sergeant Rock. No matter how quality this film is, no matter how many good reviews I hear, no matter how many influencers I see on my screen who tell me that this is a good movie and it's worth it, a good movie about the Thunderbolts is still a good movie about the Thunderbolts. You will see that from reflected from the casual audience who make up the box office, where Shang-Chi made 400 million, Eternals made 400 million, Captain America Brave New World 400 million, Ant-Man Quantumania was in that 400 million. That's that base level of fandom. I'm sure Captain Marvel would have made 400 million also if there just wasn't a writer strike and actor strike and they could promote the movie, right? But it made 200 million. I think Thunderbolts will do so well because it's such a good movie. It'll reach 500 million. I think that's what we're talking about right now.
We're dealing with. I mean, so like I was just going to say that it feels like the projections have shot up a little bit here over the last couple of weeks. Have gone from about a 40 to 50 million dollar opening weekend to about 65 to 70. So whatever, promotion they've been doing, I heard the early screeners that they did last week went really well, went really positive. There's talk about the post-credit scenes. I see Raymond talking about it in the chat. I won't get too deep into anything that I know about it, but they're doing something. Something's making the numbers tick up. If not, even if it's just all marketing to try to get the film over the hump. My issue, I think, with it overall is kind of what you were going back to. It's the team, right? It's where we expect these characters to end up in the likelihood or how much you're going to ask me to suspend my disbelief to believe that we're actually here. Right? Because as I'm looking at these characters, as I'm looking at Ghost, as I'm looking at Red Guardian, as I'm looking at even Yelena, it just they're inherently lesser characters. They're B tier characters. So for them to build up a character like the Century, if any of these B tier characters survive,
B tier,
B, C tier, Ghost is in there, Taskmaster's in there, unfortunately. But if any of those characters survive this, if they survive as a team, even at that, then I know something had to have been taken down from Century. It's just that's how my comic book brain works. Now, I see Raymond also talking about maybe the message wasn't as heavy as I'm leaning on it. I don't know. I haven't seen the film yet. But less action, more message, and characters I don't give a shit about. If Marvel can make that work, then I think we're in for something good for Doomsday. I think the people who are still watching Marvel are going to be very, very pleased with what they get from Doomsday. If they can make you care about Thunderbolts, they're going to make it happen.
I understood this reference. Don't worry about it, Marcus. Don't worry about it. Gina says, brother, is racism, lol. I honestly think these folks seen themselves in these characters. That's always a variable, yes. That maybe it's an all-white team and people are going, Marvel's back. This is a great one.
That's insane. That's insanity. Like just the support. Well, I mean,
it's not insane. It's possible, but like the people who I respect reviews from who are not racist are saying it's good.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've heard nothing but positive reviews of it. But I think what we are expecting when we talk about that Marvel's back, that mantra that people just keep trying to ring out, it's like Elon solving autonomous driving. We keep expecting like a big whopper. We expect a billion, at least an 800 million. We're expecting something to really kick the door in. And it just this year hasn't been that year for them on the silver screen or the small screen in TV. So I just this is the project that turns it around, I guess. I wouldn't put my dollar on it though.
It won't turn it around, but it'll be considered a good movie and it'll be something nice going into Fantastic Four in July. As good as this movie can be and will be, and respect to this movie, I kind of want it not to make money. I kind of want them to make so little dollars that they go, no more risks, okay? All that Toussaint stuff we were thinking about, just call them T'Challa. Now we need the
We're
real
in the
thing.
same camp. We are right in the decided same camp because, first of all, when we even decided not just to stop, posting reviews about the shows and the movies, you just look at the landscape of what was coming out this year, and it wasn't difficult. I think the only project on the slate that we had
Wonder
to
Man.
double take was
Wonder Man.
was Daredevil. And to my surprise, that project tremendously underperformed. So if it makes 500 million, do they spin that into a success? Because I mean, it would have grossed anything. I mean, more than the last 2 or 3 movies. I feel like so. I don't know.
Good luck, Marvel. Like,
Yeah.
good luck. This is your Thunderbolts. This is your May release. You're known for dropping Avengers and Civil War and your huge ones in May. This is your May release.
Except Ant-Man, Thor sucked, but still made 700 million. Yeah, that's a fact. But that's why I'm asking, like, why would they be so starved for white people representation? It ain't like they were deprived of it in any time in the MCU history. That's where I was coming from. But
Brave
no,
New
you're
World.
right.
Don't let them find out that my girl, Ghost. Don't let them find out about her ethnicity. She's a.
Oh, they don't know she
Mary.
black
Isn't
or half black, biracial.
She's a Mary from
Biracial.
Sinners.
Yeah, that now that's who they should have cast as Mary. Now I don't know if that's where we headed next.
Yeah, you said this on your show. I was
Yes,
I was watching you and I didn't want to chime in too much, but I was with what Blue was saying in the comments, like disagreeing with you about Mary should have been casted. And bro, Haley Steinfeld, she is 1/8 of an African, and therefore she was eligible for this.
To tell was of a white passing black woman. That is not what Haley Steinfeld is with her 8th blackness. This just not. That's not at all what she was. So my point
the story was a person who was 1/8
biracial women or just light skinned, white passing black women that could have played that role. We didn't have to go look for Haley Steinfeld's biracial grandpa and like force her to be black now for Sinners. It just wasn't. That's not a thing. She's a white girl. It's okay. And she has a biracial grandpa.
It's not a forced thing. That's literally what her genetic makeup is. The character is the same genetic makeup as Haley is.
Hey, Chillmonger, if you found out something about your ancestry and you're like close to your 30s, right? Would that change materially who you were, the life that you lived for the 30 years prior to that? It couldn't.
No, but if I'm an actor in a movie and the character requires to have the same genetics I have, I qualify.
Yeah. Okay. We can talk about the movie. I don't want to argue about her genetics. She's a
There's nothing to argue.
White woman. She's a white woman. It just is.
She definitely appears to be one. You're right. I agree.
Okay.
That's what she looks
that
way.
Let's talk about Sinners. Let's talk about something.
Are we done with Thunderbolts?
Oh yeah. Or Thunderbolts. We can finish talking.
Wait, one second. MoFly says, "Yo, Chill and Marcus, I wanted to ask you a question. You guys have a live stream early. We're not doing call-in show today." And MoFly was asking to join your guys' stream the other week too. Like when it's time to do a interaction community thing, we'll do one.
I also didn't understand what you were saying. I probably would have told you. We schedule some time to speak, MoFly. But get with me in the DMs, bro. We'll talk.
We're due to have a call-in show one of these days, just to keep things fresh. My grandma's 1/8. Yeah, we're done with the white passing stuff, right? We're done. Any Thunderbolts takes, anybody? Haley was perfect. This movie is the darkest movie they've given us since Avengers 3 and 4. Okay, Raymond. I could agree with that. Yeah, you're right. And does darkness, is that what I go to the movie theaters for when I see an Avengers movie or a Marvel movie? No. I want to see like happy, light jokes. I want to see colors. And then I want to see super people. And if Thunderbolts is not giving me with that, maybe Sentry, but not the rest of the characters, then it's not, the word of mouth isn't going to be what Sinners' word of mouth is. Sinners, actually, since we're talking Sinners, they are going to get the IMAX screens after Thunderbolts. That's awesome. Like their 2-week run, they're doing it right now. And then on Thursday, actually tonight is the night where IMAX is going to Thunderbolts. Disney has that much power. It is what it is. And I was telling Tina this, that IMAX is going to come for Sinners. It's going to stay with Sinners. They're going to be loyal with Sinners. I was wrong because Disney bought those IMAX screens. Now, in 2 weeks, I think it's May 19th or May 15th, I think.
They're doing a special presentation back on IMAX.
Sinners is returning to the IMAX screens because Disney, I guess, only bought those first 14 days worth of IMAX screens. So Sinners is going back. WB bought it back. That is a testament to how good it. And they did the whole fans. We listened, so we're gonna respect you guys. We're gonna give you the Sinners experience on IMAX. And bro, to be honest with you, I think that first week of Thunderbolts, I can justify them having the IMAX screen. That second week of Thunderbolts, movie theaters are gonna be like, bro, do I have to use IMAX for Thunderbolts? I would rather be giving my IMAX screens to Sinners right now. That's how powerful Sinners is and how Ryan Coogler sold us on the experience. You know what I'm saying? With the 15 perforations on the 70 millimeters. You got to go to this theater and then that theater. You got to go to that theater. Like, it's coming back, bro. It's coming to to Vaughn, everybody. Go see it in IMAX 70 millimeters, the way that they intended, the way that they created this movie for you. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so with the special presentation, it is going to be in the middle of what is that? That'll probably be the second week of Mission Impossible, third week of Thunderbolts. So I think it's going to be sparse in terms of where you can get it. But it is interesting that Warner Brothers is meeting the demand, right? That they're putting it back in the theaters. Again, that's not free. You can't just call theaters, hey theaters, run Sinners again. Like, that costs them money to book those theaters again. It was actually one of my main points in the little bit of the review that's already posted for us about Sinners, is that Warner Brothers did not maximize on this opportunity. They literally fell into this win against their own wills. It seemed like the fact that this movie was in less theaters than Minecraft is still puzzling. The re-release of Revenge of the Sith, the 20th anniversary, they had it in almost 300 more theaters than Sinners was playing in initially. So they almost owed them the extra screenings. They almost owed that to them, because as much money as this thing made in its first 2 weeks, imagine what it would be if they had been in as much theaters as those other movies. You know?
Yeah, I think I have the answer to that question about what happened. So on May 16th, Final Destination comes out, which is a Warner Brothers film. And I believe Warner Brothers intended that to be an IMAX screen, but instead of putting Final Destination, it'll be Sinners in their IMAX screens because they kind of already own it. I think that's what's happening on May 16th. And then you said May 16th, Mission Impossible.
Go back to when Sinners actually premiered. That's what I'm saying. What else was premiering around Sinners in Minecraft that Nothing. They couldn't have at least matched?
Actually, I don't understand the question.
So what I'm saying is when Sinners first premiered, right? When they first came out, it came out to about 3,400 auditoriums, 3,400 sites. The same amount, or at the same time, Minecraft came out to about 4,000 sites.
Right.
Like I said, the release for the Revenge of the Sith re-release, the 20th anniversary, they put that in 3,700 sites. So they cut it short initially.
Agreed.
And it still made money. So I'm saying this rebooking almost feels like is what they should have gotten initially. They probably would have made even more money.
Oh yeah, they know that. Like I saw 52% of the second weekend box office was black females, not black men and females, just black females alone. 52%. They wanted to see Michael B. Jordan and his twin. They came and they saw all the memes and they saw the conversation happening online. Which, shout out to this movie for having like an online post community where we can all just laugh at these were the vampires outside dancing, and you see a gif of dancing. This is how they felt when this happened. When that happened, it's a fun 2 weeks going on the internet and just scrolling past Sinners jokes. I think it's culturally relevant has helped with that. And then Michael B. Jordan's super attractive. So yeah, whatever he does next, he's got to think about it long and hard. He's got to think about what he does and with his celebrity and what he can do with it. He can be in a Black Panther type movie. He can be something where they go in the past with themes of trauma and oppression. Or he can go to the future. He can do whatever he wants to do. He can be married to a woman and have a full nuclear family. He can do whatever he wants to do, is what I'm saying.
And not sit around and wait for the KKK to pull up so he can die in a shootout there, like kind of like that. You mean maybe?
Thank you, thank you, because I have problems with this movie too. Yeah, it's not.
Oh, whenever you would like to actually break down the movie, I would love to start. Y'all gonna get a jump start on my actual review.
And listen, I understand it's detrimental to have this negative stuff out there, especially when the movie's hot and we're trying to make money. Okay, one day
is what it is,
man,
and it's so constant in every picture, and sometimes you almost excuse it because it kind of feels like it belongs there, or it was someone else's story, so it had to be told that way. But then there are opportunities where he can make a decision. Like, the only reason why certain themes are in this movie is because you decided to put them in there.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell do vampires got to do with deadbeat abusive fathers? Somebody riddle me that. Tell me how this movie changes materially if a child doesn't have to murder their dad because he's abusive. What changes about the movie?
Ryan Coogler, bro. Ryan Coogler, the T'Challa Slayer.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like it just kind of went over everybody's head. Everybody took it, but it also has some structural problems in the third act. Do you remember when?
Spoilers.
Yeah. Spoilers. Do you remember when the Asian lady saw her husband outside, right?
And he was just all normal when the dude was biting up.
Yeah. She was tripping. She was like, "No, we gotta go get him. We gotta go and get my daughter. You think they just gonna sit around here and leave my daughter over there? We can't protect her." Delroy Lindo was like, "Hey, listen, man, it don't seem like they going anywhere. Like, we still hear them out there chanting and singing. They ain't going nowhere, right?" So then, when she gets her eyeballs on him and see that he's turned, she loses her shit, goes absolutely wild. "Oh my God, come on in, MF first. Come on in." They're trying to cover her mouth. They're like, "No, shut up, crazy lady. Don't do that. Don't invite him in. That's the one thing that we can't do with these vampires. We just said we got to hold up here till morning. Mm-hmm. Come on in, MF first. Come on in." So then they call Flood in, and the guns are right behind them, laid out, ready to shoot. They immediately turn around, grab the weapons, and then face the door to unload. If we wasn't prepared for her to yell, "Come on in, MFers," as they're dragging her in, as we clearly can see, they weren't prepared for that. They're trying to cover her mouth. Why are the guns loaded and ready right behind us on the counter, like ready in perfect firing position?
Yeah, was there an in-between song while they were getting ready? Like, what was going on?
Fam, it happened almost immediately for me.
That's a good flaw. I thought you were going to go somewhere else with it, where the Chinese woman, she was accepted, right? She was with the other people in that barn in the Jew joint, and everybody was together, united, whether you were Chinese, black, white passing black, whatever you were. Everyone was one, right? All right. Yeah. As soon as the point of the movie came where this Chinese woman's interests were against the black community's interests, she sold them out. "Come in, I'm welcome." Like, I'm not with you. Yeah,
Josh had a theory about that it was like a
allegory
for gatekeeping. It felt like a dumb scene to me. But yes, they were prepping the guns. How did they conveniently fall back into position for them to just turn around and shoot? It wasn't a plan for her to just invite the vampires in. They didn't have no, "Hey, we're going to create a kill tunnel and lead them all in here, and then we're going to have the guns here. We're going to shoot." That was never discussed. The plan was to hold up until morning. So how did that go from, we totally prepare for an onslaught for all the vampires to run in right now at the bar?
Loading and getting ready during the dance montage. "We're going to the double and going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Rocky Road."
No, man, I enjoyed the first maybe hour and a half of the movie. And I think once we introduce the vampires, the script got a little loose. Got a
I'm the
little loose.
opposite. I was like, ooh, vampires. This makes things a whole lot better. I come to the movies for imagination, so I was with it.
See, when it was a little bit slower and they were building, we were doing a lot of character development. That's when I was paying attention to a lot of the stuff that Coogler was talking about in the shots, right? When the aspect ratio changed before the scene where they was dancing in the juke joint or whatever, or when they was pulling up in the whip, when Smoke Snap pull up in the whip and you seen the screen kind of stretch out and change aspects. I was paying attention to that stuff a lot, so I wasn't docking them points for it being slow in the buildup. I also knew very early on that this film drew on themes from Till Dusk Till Dawn. So I was expecting a sharp change in the story at some point, right?
Yeah.
But then when we start encountering the vampires, certain things didn't make a lot of sense. At the end, when Delroy Lindo sacrifices himself to the vampires, why did he have to do that? If you notice, right as that has happened, all the vampires got out and left. Also unexpected. Don't know why they did that, but they all bounced. Right? We know Homeboy snuck around back. He was waiting on Sammy, but all of them bounced out the front. As they're trying to leave, man's cuts his wrist. Why? Why did you do that, fam? Why you do that? For what? Did you want to sacrifice yourself? And then they all come back in the barn towards him. So, but why? But why though? Why did you? He wasn't injured. He wasn't dying. He wasn't bit. It wasn't like, y'all are not going to get away if I don't cut my wrist right now. Was that another allegory that I missed? Or
what if he survived though? What if he? Okay, listen.
As a vampire, sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. So he gets bitten and he's dead and everything. All the other people, vampires, they get hit by the sun. We know that Mary and my boy Stack were hidden. They didn't get hit by the sun, so they get to live, right? Or they get to remain being vampires.
I guess they were the only two vampires.
No, they weren't the only two. Delroy Lindo's character, what was his name? It wasn't Cornbread, but Delroy's character, since he had just been Slim. Yeah.
I think so.
Delroy, he was just bit. So he was while the sun was rising, he was still like in his, changing phase. So he didn't get hit by the sun. So when we watch Sinners Part 2, that we'll get to see Delroy's character is alive also as a vampire.
What is Sinners Part 2 for you? Like, what is the follow-up? Is this a prequel? I don't think you can really do a sequel.
Oh, the Native Americans.
Where the fuck did they go? Why were they in the movie? Where did they go?
They were there.
They rode off on them horses and left the movie. Literally, fam. Delta Slim. That was his name. Yep, Slim.
Thank you.
They got off and rode out of the film.
Okay. Y'all are off. Well, this is the Pantheon, bro. You guys can speak on Blurred AF. Actually, I was watching.
Or you could explain, you could tell me why I'm incorrect. It's always people, they'll be like, no, you're wrong. All right, tell me how I'm wrong. You just wrong. I don't like your opinion. I don't like it. Tell me you don't like my opinion. Or explain where I'm wrong. I saw them prepping the guns. We saw that scene. That's fine. But the plan wasn't to open the doors and let the vampires run in. So how were they in perfect position to shoot the vampires as they're coming in? How did that all just fall into place? Also, the vampires left the juke as they were trying to escape. The only reason why they came back into the juke was because Delroy Lindo cut his wrist. Somebody tell me why I'm wrong. Like, I didn't shoot this shit. I didn't write it either. I didn't do it. I just watched it.
Say no to Sinners 2. I don't want it. I'm a franchise guy. I like this. Continue. Now, I know you're probably not going to tell the same stories, the same lesson with music and stuff, but I don't know. I'll see what, maybe even he can produce it, Ryan can produce it, and another director can take a shot at it of Sinners, but in the 90s with the vampires. What I liked from Blurred AF is that
easy to tell me I'm wrong, though. That's crazy. You got 100 characters.
What I like that Blue and Dre were talking about was there's a portion of Latino community, and then there's other people checking them on TikTok going, shut up. There's a portion of people saying, where was the Latino representation? And I just want to, everyone who thinks that way, I would say that you don't hate the enemy that is white supremacy enough for you to go, There's the Sinners movie. I got to make a complaint. No Latino representation. Like, historically speaking, there's no room for that. And then just like, as a person, let's just pretend this wasn't a thing that took place in the 1930s. It was just a black vampire movie. So what if they made a black vampire movie with no one who's Latino? The enemy is white supremacy, not too many blacks without enough Latino. Like, what do you think? How do you head count that way? You should be happy that there's a movie coming out with a very, very, very diverse cast, which doesn't be. You just don't hate white supremacy enough, is what I would say to that person. Do you want to say something about it?
I would just like it when we can have something and it don't be. But why can't we? But where are the? But how can't we? We have so few of these films. There are so few films that are black produced, directed, casted, led. Like these films virtually don't exist. Can we have our shit, please? Can we have our shit, please? Please, just for a second. Just for a second.
Right.
We will peace out on Cinco de Mayo if that gets us some silence around sinners. Please. Y'all
Sounds
can have
like a whataboutism. It is. Mm-hmm.
Damn, Coogler gave y'all half a Black Panther. He let y'all whoop the Wakandans' ass. Okay? Stabbed Shuri in the gut. Look, man. Y'all got y'all just due from Coogler, okay? I think this one was for us. Can it just be for us?
The FBA? Yeah. Stamina MC with the joke about Nicki Marina. You know what? Nah, it's a no.
Criticisms.
Nah, we don't. She dug her heels down. I think of what I think of her. Yo, listen, bro. It's Pantheon. It's Thursday. We love doing what we do. We got Darius. Darius is in the green room. Darius, come on in, Darius. It's not here yet. Oh, but we do have super chats. So shout out to Michael Nemo for this $10 big money super chat.
Money big. Niggas hate Uncle Tom. Spin them off me. Carousel. Get them off me. Go to hell.
Michael Nemo. I'll say this. Relying on the MCU and DC makes me long for the days that you had stylistically diverse fair like Dick Tracy,
Tracy,
The Crow, or from Hell. MCU all feels sterile and tired to me. Sterile and tired? But we didn't feel that way for Deadpool and Wolverine, did we? Did it feel sterile and tired?
I don't know, man. It just feels like, when a fire's going out, you know how the flame flickers a little bit. Maybe you get a few pops. I'm confused about where the audience is, Will, to be honest with you, because 3 years ago now, I felt like the audience has spoke about what they thought about a movie about depression, or at very least some heavy grief, some heavy emotional tones. It seems like this movie has pushed it in a completely different direction, and it's going positively. And that is something where previously I would have said would have been a death note for a superhero movie. Doesn't, even in our chat right now, it doesn't really seem like that's what people are getting out of it. So I could have never put the word superhero movie and depression together and think that would be a success. But the audience is speaking.
I saw the first scene of this movie, and bro. For those who have seen it, they know what I'm talking about. Appreciate that, Michael Nemo. I was tired in Deadpool and Wolverine. Damn. Oh, I thought there was a lot of surprises in Deadpool and Wolverine. I think the flame, yes, it's flickering, and it does feel pretty whack. I can't speak on Dick Tracy. Didn't watch those movies, but I'm just not hopeless. I know that there is a quick turnaround, and the audience exists. The base is there. Just do something for them, and they'll come. $1 billion for Deadpool.
It is strange, Tina. It's strange. I can't. On top of everything else that had this film going against it, and then they lean that heavy into that, just didn't sound like I understand why they were nervous about this movie now. I understand why they were nervous about it, but different day. Different day, I guess.
We are where we are. Sterile, but it just all it takes is one movie.
Yeah. Yep. Well, no, but we thought that. We thought about No Way Home. We thought that about if you're just going to turn around and screw it up all over again. What if Thunderbolts is a good one and then Fantastic Four flops? Then
Well, we're not even talking about the TV shows in between, like Secret Invasion or coming up Ironheart, Agatha all along. I don't want to see these things. Even when they're good, people say Agatha was good. Even when Daredevil is good, people say Daredevil's good. I just don't care because it's not what I came for.
So what do we think success if it makes 500 million, is that a success for Thunderbolts?
Well, profit is success. And so if 500 makes enough money, then
What's the budget? Let's look at the budget.
They say 180.
180?
Yeah, that's what they say.
So they need north of 300 million. So yeah, 500 million would be a financial success.
Tina says it needs 550. Pookie's Wood says peace. He says PS with a heart. I think he's talking about that. I moved it because that was like too small before. I moved it here.
For sure.
Cleve's same. What? Cleve says saw Thunderbolts, thought it was pretty good. Cool. Let's see what a pretty good Marvel movie about D-listers and C-listers. Let's see what a good Marvel movie could do.
I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, who is carrying the film? Is Florence Pugh really lit? Like, she got the sauce, boy. She up. She the new Margot Robbie. Y'all love Florence Pugh that much?
Y'all heard DC canned Sergeant Rock, the first segment of the show.
Yes.
Just rewind 42 minutes, okay? And Brother Stock says, does Thunderbolts get a sequel before Brave New World? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Like off GP. We haven't even seen the film yet.
Florence's life. LOL. Let's talk about some other Marvel news. Did you see the Jeremy Renner interview?
Nope.
Good. No idea what's going to pop up right now, huh?
Nope.
Listen up.
Asked me to do a season 2, and they offered me half the money. I'm like, wow, it's going to take me twice the amount of work for half the amount of money. And so 8 months of my time, essentially, and to do it for half the amount. I'm like, I'm sorry. Why? Did you think I'm only half the Jeremy because I got ran over? Maybe that's why you want to pay me half of what I made on the first season? And this is not Marvel, mind you. This is like this Disney, not even really Disney. It's just the penny pinchers, the accountants. I told them to go fly a kite. I mean, just at the insult offer. And we didn't see eye to eye on that. And sadly, and I still love the character. I still love to do it. But
he's so protective. He's like almost there, but then he has to stop and pause and talk about,
well, it's not actually Marvel. My way. Because he still wants it to go his way.
Yeah.
I had to defend myself. I didn't ask for any more money, mind you, right? It just paid me what I made the first season. So it's a little disheartening that didn't happen, but that's fine. I'm happy to let that go because my body's probably thanking me, time and time again that I'm not doing it right now. But we'll see.
Right.
So no Hawkeye season 2.
Nope.
That's crazy. Half of what they offered you? You must have fell out of grace, buddy. Who'd you piss off?
That also might be indicative of that's how badly Marvel is doing on Disney Plus, where we have to offer you half. That era when everyone was locked down and watching and they thought streaming was the future. No, actually streaming was the present. It just happened to be the best way to put our things out there on a streaming service. But everyone's been canceled their Disney Plus subscriptions. That's why Daredevil did so badly. That's why Andor's not doing so well.
I think they were convinced that they were going to be able to use the pandemic to reset their market overall. That they were going to be able to reform the entertainment market in a way that suited them and only them, meaning the studios.
Yeah, every single one of them had a stream. They still have a streaming service.
They still have it, and it's a streaming service on all of them. It's an anchor around all of their necks now. I love it. I love it because they tried to be robber barons and take all the profit for themselves and cut out the theaters.
Oh boy,
and cut out the linear stations. And what ended up happening was they got stuck with these billion-dollar investments that aren't growing, that they have to keep raising the prices for, that get less and less attractive each quarter, right? And the only two that are being, even meaningfully successful with, or even reasonably, is what I was trying to say, successful with it, is Netflix and Amazon,
Yeah, but
right? Like
yeah, but
everybody
special
else is
circumstances
underwater
for
in
Amazon.
terms of subscriber growth. What's up?
There's special circumstances for Amazon. They're more than just a service.
Right. And we all understand that math. But just looking at it empirically, they're the only ones. Everybody else is, oh, well, we were supposed to be at 100 million subscribers. We were supposed to be at 200 million subscribers. We were supposed to be grow 20 million subscribers over the last quarter. None of that. Everybody's underwater. So I love the fact that it didn't work out for them and that it's going so poorly.
And they ate into their theatrical, because now everyone waits for the movies that are supposed to be the things that we have to go and see. There's no fear of missing out. 90 days, it'll be on streaming.
Exactly. They cut their nose off to spite their face.
Good for them.
Greed does.
That's what greed does. Jeremy Renner, though, the way he talked and the way he began when having he had a backbone when it began, and then you can see the backbone kind of fold as the longer he talks. It wasn't
like,
Marvel.
Hold on, man, I'm talking a little too spicy.
It wasn't Disney. It was Marvel. And then it wasn't Marvel. It was Disney. It was the accountant types. It wasn't even anyone that I know that I talked to. It was definitely wasn't
you
Bob.
backed all the way away from that, huh?
Yep, he did. It says exactly. I want to see a spectacle when I'm watching Marvel, not emotional stuff. And then Glimmer says, to be honest, I don't know how multiple episodes drop ratings works. That's what Andor is trying to do right now. Andor's trying to give you 3 so that they appear on those weekly charts of hours watched, minutes watched per. And they're still not. They're still not top 10. Is it aggregated over a week-long window after the episode drop? Yes, it is. Damn, Hawkeye was one of my favorite Disney Plus shows. Do you think if they did a season 2, would it come the very next year, or would it have taken another 2 years like Loki took 2 years in between?
I don't think a Loki season 2 would have cost them all that much, and it's pretty practical too. They would have been able to shoot within the States somewhere. A lot of the actors were already on the lot. You got Delfino, he was doing Echo, and then he did he would have played in that
Vincent
because he was
D'Onofrio?
the swordsman. D'Onofrio, yeah. Because remember the New York the swordsman, how he played it. Oh, I'm reviewing Daredevil. God damn it. I think that it would have worked out, but the fact that they were offering him half, that means that the budget probably got slashed in half. And we're like, if we're even gonna do this, it's gonna be to a much smaller scale because it didn't net us anything. There was no return from it.
I kind of like the end of the Jeremy story that his body was thanking him for not doing it. So all's well that ends well. He could be kicking himself going, damn, I could have took that money. Yeah, wow, that's still half. That's still a lot of money. And what else? What other roles do I have that are going to offer me that much? I should do the superhero thing. He's going, my body needed that time off. Take care of yourself at all times. So everyone wins from this. I, the fan, don't care about any of their Disney Plus shows. So Jeremy Renner, don't put your body at any expense for me, the fan.
Sure.
For sure. And Jared says, Born Again would have been a lot better if the new team had the whole season. Really looking forward to season 2.
Okay. Born Again. I don't know, man. I'm so confused. I don't know if what we watched was a stripped down version of what they wanted to do, or if that was like the Disney version. I don't know if that was like, oh no, we're really gonna do the Netflix thing, and then Disney just came and picked it apart, or when they went back and reworked it all together, if Disney was really driving the wheel. Somebody's influence had a lot pulled out of that show in terms of, not in terms of violence. It was definitely violent enough, but the themes, they pushed back a lot, and I think the election had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that election stuff. I feel it I feel it in Thunderbolts. They use the word impeach in the movie Thunderbolts. I feel it, and yeah, exactly. Oh, did you watch the TLC match?
The TLC match. You went out.
You hear me now?
I got you now. Yeah.
There was a tables, ladders, and chairs pro wrestling match.
Yes, I know what TLC, but where? Where did it happen?
It happened in Vegas or something, or Dallas, Fort Worth. And in this match, since we're talking about Jeremy Renner and his health and everything, we don't want him to have a prosthetic leg. They used a prosthetic leg in this match. Darius would love that. That's all.
He would love the prosthetic leg.
Yeah, he would be like, "Oh, I dig wrestling. Yeah, that's great." Jeremy Renner, we don't want you to be that dude in the front row with the prosthetic leg. So most certainly take care of your health and make sure that you, as the actor, can make sure that you have acting roles for the rest of your life.
Did Jeremy Renner have one of them? Hold on now.
He's the one in the tractor. He was trying to save his son or his uncle or his nephew or somebody in a tractor or in a snowblower.
Yeah. But before that, though,
he had a case
about his wife, right?
Said that
Okay. Well, no, I didn't. I knew it was something back there. Yeah. Well, I guess wish you the best and whatnot.
Oh, that's a good segue to Jonathan Majors. He did an interview with Jason Lee.
With Jason Lee? Oh, that's interesting.
Hollywood Unlocked.
How did that go?
It went well because Jason Lee's already best friends with Megan Good.
Oh yeah, he got him that award. Remember he got that random like achievement award or something like that.
Perseverance
award. Yeah, it was that was Jason Lee's outlet or foundation or whatever.
If you're not willing to support me in public anymore, there was no party because I didn't really see a lot of people but Megan publicly really.
Don't look at that. Don't listen to that. Listen to this.
The Marvel folks, right? When that role that you really wanted was not given to you, you writing the letter and not being negative about it, but still being choosing to be positive and not being out there telling everybody that that's what you did. I mean, it's out because people know. That takes a certain level of self-control and a certain level of I don't know, peace. Is that therapy or is that just the man you are? Because
it's probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
Like speaking of Marvel, I got an Avengers team of therapists. You know what I mean? Pastors, prophets. I got them. You got Rolodex. I just don't see the point.
Yeah.
I don't see why would I poison somebody? You know what I mean? It's all spiritual. I'm gonna write an email, all shitty and mad, and send it to you. Even if you don't read it, I've transferred that energy to you. You know what I mean? I've done something in malice towards you. I was not strong enough to keep my together. I had to bleed on you. You know what I mean? I've just been taking my time to just sew everything up.
That's going to make you a better person.
Read it.
Yeah, which ultimately is going to make me a better, hopefully, glory to God, better.
Listen, I don't care how that's going to make you a better person or nothing. You wrote a letter to Kevin Feige and he didn't write you back. And I know Jason Lee's trying to spice it up and try to make him seem like he's so, we only know this, not because you went and told people. No, the reason why we know about this is because he told Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club that it came out that you wrote this letter or you emailed the letter, however it was. I think it was the email. We just got it confirmed right now. Feige didn't respond to you. He didn't answer you. Feige was asked about you one time during July and you didn't. He was like, oh, well, I've been trying not to answer that question and I won't answer that question now. Feige wants nothing to do with you. The way Feige is treating you is negative. I don't like the forgiveness route that Jonathan Majors is doing. I know probably he wants the studios all to hear that answer from him, and now he's not going to point a finger because when you point your finger, that just means three fingers are pointing back at you. Nah, bro, Jonathan Majors, you're just taking the corporate route.
You want him to just be like, first off, fuck Kevin Feige and everybody else in Marvel. Is that would you rather have him do?
I can see how that could go wrong.
I think at this point, I think it's pretty obvious that outside of some sort of years later nostalgia loop closing thing from Marvel, that's probably dead. It's probably over. So the only thing that he can do at this point is to signal to other major studios that he's still workable. That he's not a social pariah, that he's not going to rock the boat. That's how you got to get along in Hollywood. It's just the truth. If that's who he's going to be, if that's where he wants to be again, he has to prove that he's still amenable to being guided. He's still able to work within the machine. And the squeaky wheel usually don't get no oil in Hollywood. You just get
don't squeak. Then don't be a squeaky wheel. Don't be a squeak wheel, but also don't be like a wheel for rental either. Just to use your metaphor,
Sure.
Just don't go that hard. You know what's going to help you in the future with these future studios? If you do a movie and you're cast in it and you're the lead of the movie and it does well. So what Magazine Dreams was able to do, if you could, well, that was a terrible plot of a movie for what he's trying to prove, right? He's trying to show himself in the light of a great human being. So like he needs just to do another one of those. People will see the returns. People will see and look at the critical acclaim, and they'll go, he's workable with. You don't got to be. I know being the squeaky wheel, it could be a problem, but you don't got to do all that either. Sure.
No, yeah, maybe he doesn't have to be so affectionate or forgiving, but it's still on brand. I still haven't seen this man break character. If people still think he's acting, this man has done the most intricate acting job of all time, because he's like acting his entire life.
And don't let you have one therapist now. From now on, Jonathan, you only have one therapist.
He got an Avengers team of therapists. You know how to handle this brain. You know what I need? I need an Avengers team. That's what I heard. I need a lot.
Yeah.
I need a lot of resources.
Exactly. And I know there's a stigma that he's probably trying to combat. You're not the right one for the stigma combating. You've done enough. Like, you've done a good job. Continue with your therapist. Just don't make it sound like what Marcus was just joking right now about how his brain requires all these different. It needs a Hawkeye, it needs a shooter, and it needs a Thor, and it needs a captain. Who's Captain Brady?
No,
we don't need a Hulk. No. This punk is ignoring my email. Ain't that a bit? Yep. That's what I think Kevin Feige is doing, bro. Ignoring the man's email. I think Jonathan Majors is smart enough to realize that having his friends and allies risk their spotlight for him would do more harm than good. Michael B. Jordan said he'd work with him again. So, Michael B., shout out to your Sinner success. Let's see you use that power now to hook this guy up with a job. People say that Smoke and Stack wasn't supposed to be Michael B. It was supposed to be Jonathan Majors. Yeah, I think so.
Whoa, you said Michael B. and was supposed to be one of the twins?
Michael B. and Jonathan Majors were supposed to co-lead this.
Did y'all tell Ryan Coogler that? Because I think he was much more in love with the idea of just having two Michael B. Jordans.
Yeah. They had to invent a brand new technology where Michael B. held this thing that hovered his head, and it had different images, different points of views to get it right.
I think that was probably a pitching point to Warner Brothers when he pitched them the concept. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, possibly, but I don't think it was it obviously wasn't a derailing factor. They got that movie up and shot as fast as possible. So,
yeah,
I don't think so.
Well, if there's any more news for Jonathan Majors, you already know, bro. This is the home for that. We know everything. We even know that CNN required Rolling Stone to verify that audio.
That is so crazy.
And they couldn't. Isn't that crazy? How
just never verified the audio, and everybody just took it at face value.
It took a day. It took a day for the CNN article to come out, but as soon as that happened and I saw it, I was like, yeah, exactly. They can't. Rolling Stone can't show you where this audio came from. It could be like my boy Shannon Sharp says, 30 seconds of that sounds really bad, but play the whole thing.
Play the whole thing. Hey, I don't know if Shannon want them to play the whole thing.
Yeah, bad example.
I don't think we want that.
But the audio could be doctored. The audio could be from a video for all we know. We just don't know anything. And when they were pressed, when Rolling Stone and Cheyenne Whitetree was pressed, hey, where is this? What is this? Let's see it. Let's verify it. And they said they couldn't. Like, to this day, CNN didn't update that going, we were able to authenticate this audio. It's still unauthenticated.
But we sure could post it, though. We sure could post it. The week of the Man's movie. The week of the Man's movie is premiering.
Majors Muse Network. It definitely is. The rumor was started by FD Signifier, and he knows he's wrong. That rumor. What rumor?
Really?
Rumor.
Why
what?
would he do that?
What rumor?
He's a YouTube about Jonathan Majors being one of the twins.
Oh. No, I've heard that before. FD Signifier did a video on it this week. I've been hearing about it. Been hearing about that rumor. When it was announced, I remember hearing about it when we first found out about twins last year.
Nah, hell no. I didn't hear anything about Jonathan Majors being in the Sinners movie last year. I mean, we don't hear all the same stuff, but
hear about it either. I just the theory and the thoughts and the conversations around it were that was supposed to be Jonathan Majors by nobody credible, by just like pundits and by people who have opinions and YouTube channels going that was supposed to be him. That's what I mean. You know that it's not true. I have nothing to verify it with. I mean, I haven't heard them ask, and I haven't heard Ryan Coogler say no. When that happens, then I can say, all right, fine. It wasn't supposed to be.
I feel like if it's not Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors, the pitch to Warner Brothers gets a little bit hazy. I think when you go in there and you say, I'm gonna fill two of the main roles with one actor, then it piques their interest. Not just from a conceptual standpoint, but from a financial standpoint. We get to knock out two roles in one paycheck.
We're running through these topics really fast, and I like that. 5 days ago, the channel Emergency Awesome did a video talking about the Black Panther, talking about T'Challa, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Came out of nowhere, but and an article came out of nowhere also talking about T'Challa 2 Toussaint.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like calling that kid T'Challa Jr. to T'Challa 2, T'Challa the second.
Call him Toussaint. His mama call him Toussaint. We calling him Toussaint.
Thank you. You've already lost the battle if you're considering that kid T'Challa. So just to show you a part of I want you to see.
You definitely get the vibe that Marvel is trying to clean up a lot of stuff behind the scenes right now. Because it does look like one of their new plans involves speed running their way past Avengers, Secret Wars, and Doomsday so they can get to the stories they really want to tell with a T'Challa Black Panther. And currently the only way they can do that is either by recasting Chadwick Boseman or age up his son, who is also named T'Challa, and he's still a very young child, or use a multiverse version of the character, which is why when all that Avengers Secret Wars concept art leaked out and we saw what looked like Damson Idris as a version of adult Black Panther T'Challa, people were freaking out. Like, oh, are they going to recast Black Panther? So a lot of these changes that Marvel has made, a lot of the cancellations, are all focused on what they're doing with Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. There's a lot of stuff happening right now because Marvel is making their...
In this video, somewhere in this video, he's going to ask his audience, what do you think they should do with Toussaint, with the new character? What do we recast? Do we not? And I spent a long...
CJ. Who the F is that?
And I spent a while looking through all of the answers, and everyone had an opinion. I wrote a comment myself, and I'm like, I'm going to thumbs up every time someone says something about how Toussaint is not actually T'Challa. And I was pleased with what ended up being in his comment section for Emergency Awesome. I think that actually, I should show you, shouldn't I?
Yeah, pull it up.
The words are small. Let me magnify it. Damn. They changed YouTube. Here. So, me and you will be on the side of the screen or the bottom of the screen, and we can read. Someone said, I would actually find it very respectful to recast T'Challa. Chadwick's portrayal was iconic, but T'Challa's story deserves to be told without any hand-waving. I'd love to see a multiverse version of T'Challa marries the Storm.
Shout out to Brad B, 4543.
280 people agreed with that.
Brad.
A T'Challa variant with Storm as Queen of Wakanda would be dope. Chadwick will forever be in our hearts, says this guy, and Charlie hearted it.
Just not a bad thing to say.
Yeah, but why didn't you heart that?
Yeah.
We got one that says, I think they should recast. It's been long enough and we need T'Challa back in the forefront of Marvel Universe. I liked that. Charlie did not.
Shout out to Bruce Anderson. I to you.
Okay, but why didn't Charlie heart that? And then this one goes, the Black Panther will rise, R.I.P. Chadwick always. And he goes, R.I.P. So I think Emergency Awesome has a little bit of a bias. We all know Terrell Austin. Salute to you. You're probably watching right now because you always watch. And he goes, I still want T'Challa back as a variant from another universe. Andre Ware, we know you. You go,
Andre Ware.
The importance of T'Challa goes deeper than what most people think. Having to play mental gymnastics by aging up to child makes no sense. What other main character has to get his stories told by supporting characters? building Wakanda without T'Challa, erasing T'Challa from every iteration in the multiverse, giving Shuri the mantle, even though her comic run was short. All of this could have been solved by recasting. I don't see a heart from Emergency Awesome, though.
Fuck Emergency Awesome. Look, the thing that I'm noticing, right, is that when I go into, when we do the inverse of this, and we see a lot of people in the comments on the post that are pro Toussaint, or pro Shuri, or not even Shuri, because nobody's talking about Shuri anymore, but pro Toussaint. You start clicking into these accounts, and it's like Cat Avatar, I follow Marvel, joined in 2020, no photos or no signal at all that this is an actual person. We know these individuals. We know these folks. These real life breathing human beings that we've interfaced with. Okay. So like it feels a little bit more real. I was about to say realer. A little bit more real. Because these are some folks that you've actually you know that this is just not. Also, I don't think that there's a massive bot farm behind recast T'Challa. I wish there was.
Hell no. No. Let's not even entertain that one for a second. We're not no Snyderverse. We don't got those resources. We are literally we are a grassroots movement.
Spam bot. Show me how to do it.
Listen,
give me some of that. Put it in my vein.
This is just genuine, real thinking people going, why don't we implement the show must go on mentality for T'Challa when we can do it for Zeus, where we could do it for Balin Skull, William Hurt's character, Thunderbolt Ross.
Yep.
There's another one.
R.I.P. Ray Stevens and Louis Riddick.
Yeah, no disrespect to any of those former actors, but we've seen something happen when Bail Organa couldn't make it because of scheduling, whatever, and they got Bail Organa recast for this Andor latest episode.
That's crazy. I thought it. When I seen it, because I saw a post about it, I had to make sure the other actor didn't die. When it was like, no, he just wasn't there, and they cast somebody all together, a new dude that with the broken leg from the Doctor Strange movie, from the first Doctor Strange movie.
Wong?
No, not Wong. It was the guy that got healed.
Oh yeah,
remember
like Tannenbaum or something.
Yeah,
Phantom Bomb.
Like that. It was the guy that Mordo made unable at the end of the first Strange.
Yeah. Brother Stark was the one who showed me that tweet, though, that Bail Organa was being recast. So thank you to him. So, and Damn Cindy just is going to be playing the character. We just don't know who the character will be. I just noticed, though, my main point is that this is a mega channel. Call it a shield channel, call it whatever. But every time someone says something like, with respect to Chadwick, he should have been recast in Wakanda Forever, I can like it. Charlie did not like these posts. He didn't give it the heart. He didn't give it that approval, you know? So I'm worried. Like I'm monitoring the shills. The shills are the people with access. They're not really pro recast T'Challa.
I will say is that while probably what is his preference was represented here, which is an age up of the child, which is the only reason why you would even present that as an option. He was fair enough to say that, you know, the more likely options are to get the actual real T'Challa. At least he laid it out, and then the audience decided for themselves. We can't turn every single mind, but he's talking about it, and then his audience decided.
Did you see Eric from New? Sorry about that. I was trying to, as you were talking,
what the fuck is happening?
I was trying to do something on the end, on the back end. My bad. I was going to show you the new Rockstars thing that I was working on. Check this out. Did you? Eric from New Rockstars was covering Andor, and he said,
and not even shying away from Bix using the R word. And yes, I have to say the R word because YouTube flags that term, which is insane in the context of media criticism.
Makes sense. Censorship in this case is ridiculous. But did you know that there was a term that was censored from New Rockstars comments? See, if I type the word T'Challa in a comment, I don't want to say the R word. I just want to say T'Challa. Open a private browser and go to the same video. That new comment isn't there anymore.
Flags that term, which is insane in the context of media criticism.
I find it insane in the context of media criticism. What do you think, though? Can you find a reason for why the word T'Challa, T'Challa, is banned as a term? Looking at you, Eric, is banned as a term on New Rockstars. T'Challa's the top character with that skin tone that we've got. Unban T'Challa from New Rockstars. Jessica Clemens better not know about this. Eric from New
Boy was on there talking about media censorship, and he got T'Challa banned in his comments. That's hilarious.
I have a theory, and I have no proof of this, but I think during Wakanda Forever, enough people were saying things about T'Challa and not Shuri, and they're like, pro women's, and they probably told themselves, people who say we want T'Challa means they hate women, and so that was the reason why the term T'Challa was banned. But just nobody got back to unbanning it.
That is a reach.
That's what I think. That's the best thing I got. Best theory I have.
I'm Occam's razor in this thing, and I'm just gonna say the most common solution is probably the solution. Marvel is pro Shuri, pro Toussaint, pro someone other than T'Challa, and that's the lane that they're going to stick in until Marvel says otherwise. So to hell with T'Challa or anybody else asking about him in the comments.
You can't say T'Challa. Like, you can spell the word wrong, spell it with one L.
Can say T'Challa. That's
if you
crazy.
misspell the word T'Challa, it will show up. But if you spell it the way that it's supposed to be, it's a term that is unusable. I have terms that are unusable on my comment sections too.
That's nuts. They trying to shadow ban T'Challa out of the chat.
On behalf of Marvel, their corporate overlord.
On behalf of Marvel, yeah, their corporate overlord.
So when they go ahead and say Thunderbolts, Marvel is so back, baby, then they're not really credible.
Were they ever, though? Were we ever really looking at new rock stars to tell us what was good?
Not Eric. Michael Nemo says, after I saw your video, I wrote T'Challa in a random video on their site, and it stayed posted. Michael Nemo, if you tell me what video that is, it won't be there. It's only there on your account, on your YouTube, but it wouldn't show on mine. I can prove that to you. Can you open up a new Rockstars video, Marcus, and just write the word like something about T'Challa? Maybe I'm banned. Yeah, let's prove it. So you write it, and then we'll see what goes on.
You're going to make me search new rock stars. Now I've got new rock stars in my YouTube algorithm.
Open a... Yeah, I was going to say open private, but you would have to log in, wouldn't you?
Nah, that's all right. If you want my comment to stay, I need to do it on a YouTube account I'm logged into, so I'm on my phone.
I don't give a gosh darn about T Junior. That's right. Brother Stark says,
nobody does.
Thunderbolts is a bunch of white Russian super soldiers who used to be villains. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lowest of the
pretty
low.
Much. Because old girl was a widow. Yelena, Red Guardian, Bucky. Oh, he wasn't a Russian. I guess they made him German. Anywho. All right, I'm going to put this on the Thunderbolts post-credit scene explained video.
Is that the most recent video? Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell me when you
posted. Recast T'Challa.
Welcome back to New Rockstars.
Oh.
Shopping on.
Okay, so I got it.
Hold on, wait.
I'm going to go to top comment.
Post.
Or I'll say newest comments. What's the newest comment for you?
Newest. Hold on. Oh, I can't say ho. Can I say ho? Maybe ho is a banned word. Mine's 13 seconds ago, but that's what I'm looking at though on my phone.
Before that though, you know how to go to sort by and you can say top comments or you can say sort by.
The Alexi impression was great 1 minute ago.
Yes, that's what I see here. Someone said the Alexi impression was great. But I don't see your comment from 13 seconds ago. Let me refresh my page, okay? I'm refreshing New Rockstars. I'm scrolling down. Newest comment first. I don't see your word because you wrote the word.
Damn. Why are they doing that to me? Hold on. Okay, hold on. We're gonna type something else. Let's case study real fast. Recast. Bucky. Oh, good job, baby. Good job. My daughter just peed in the pot.
So I'm gonna write a comment too. That Thunderbolts was pretty awesome, surprisingly. So let's see if my comment shows up on your end.
Hold on, I'll just put recast Bucky. Let's see if that comes up.
All right. Well, some comments are coming through. Somebody had one from 43 seconds ago about the Fantastic Four. Somebody on named Heretic says the best part was define innocence. So I see those guys' comments. I don't see yours.
Maybe the word recast is banned.
Oh, you're so smart. That is exactly what happened.
Maybe recast is banned.
Do you see mine?
Hold on. First of all, I don't even see mine now. Holy shit. Did they delete my comments? Holy shit. They deleted my shit. Yeah, I don't even see mine anymore.
You guys want to play along? I'll put their video. Stamina says I see Chill's newest one. That's because mine didn't use the word T'Challa or recast. I just said Thunderbolts was pretty awesome. So it's not that my channel is blocked. It comes through and I don't use those terms, recast or T'Challa.
That's weirdo energy.
So I mean, this is foolproof. Like, we've experimented, we've tried it out. There's no, oh well, you should have tried it on a Tuesday, not a Monday. It's just, it doesn't work.
Damn, banned for saying recast T'Challa ho.
That word cannot appear on their channel. Too bad, bro.
Recast T'Challa.
Okay. Thanks for coming to an experiment for recast T'Challa. We have other topics today, though.
If they do a video about black, they gonna have to turn it back on. They gonna have to turn it back on.
They did, though. They did. They just forgot to turn it back on. They've talked about it. I've seen Eric Voss be pro recast all of a sudden back in December, January.
I think it's time. Do you? Because we still can't say T'Challa in your comments.
No.
New Cluck stars is crazy.
I commented.
I comment, not y'all banning words.
Did you really?
Way to go.
Yeah, you did. It's right there.
Way to go. Not y'all banning words. Love y'all. It's hilarious.
Raymond, they don't think they're doing something anti-inclusive or anything. They actually feel like this is because Shuri is the Panther now, and all of the He-Man women haters need to not be represented on our safe space.
I don't know what they think. I don't think they think at all. I think they wait to get their cues and they take them. I think y'all giving them too much credit for having an opinion.
Yeah. The depressing state of recast T'Challa. Remember, Darius's source, he said they will say at Comic-Con that the new actor is going to be playing T'Challa, and it's true T'Challa, and the crowd will go crazy.
It's going to crush my spirit if that boy get up there and be like, yes, I am Toussaint.
Oh.
Like, Damson, how did they convince you, bruh? Why? What are you going on? And then also there was that little tidbit that they are introducing characters that they don't plan to continue beyond the whole Secret Wars saga.
Talking about temporary representation.
Yeah. Now, they did say that some of them were characters that we've never seen before, but they were
Blue
Marvel characters. So
Adam Brashear is one of those characters, or T'Challa's granddad might be one of those characters. I think this is a good way to have a black character on screen. See, guys, we're doing enough black, but not get the benefits of that long-term reoccurring representation. The everlasting characters who are all
the black heroes going to be the ones that go back to their
temporary
universe.
representation. This is it comes with an expiration date. We will never let a black character have such a good job that he can continue and keep happening. Now we already have his exit ramp is already set. He's only going to be driving for 2 miles and then he leaves this highway. Temporary representation. Like I've coined the phrase, guys. I have videos on this stuff. There's going to be that was a real report, and I'm just thinking racially, but other people are like, "Oh, that's cool. We're going to have Beta Ray Bill." Okay.
Yeah. I agree. No, I do. If they do introduce any of those characters that we're looking for, in Adam Brashear and Brother Voodoo, those type of characters, I do think they will be from other universes that will not extend beyond the secret wars of it all. So
of course, told John Boyega, what character do you want to play? It's probably for that reason.
Could you see him as Bishop?
I'll take anyone as Bishop. I'll take him. Yeah, he's not my ideal, but I'll take him.
Who's your ideal for Bishop?
It's some guy who I've never heard of, so that he could sign for 25 years for a very economic price. That's my vision for Bishop or any X-Men.
I mean, but there's no in particular actor that you think would be seamless in the role.
Nobody particular. I think he's supposed to be Aboriginal or Bishop isn't. His ethnicity is someone from a native of Australia. No, that's Manifold.
No, that's Manifold. Yeah, that's Eaton Vesey. I think Bishop's just black. Bishop and Shard are both black. So you can get a black brother and sister to play Bishop and Shard. I don't know who those actors would be, but anywho. What's up next? We got up.
I typed it in Google and it said the AI Google. It said it's Aboriginal Australian descendant.
Who is
Bishop? Is Australia's First Nations community.
Well, I mean, I think the Aborigines of Australia are also melanated people.
Melanated people descended from the continent Al-Kebulan.
So maybe not American black, just like world black.
Stamina in it. He says, indeed, First Nations Australians.
Got you.
Hey, we got a comic book head in the building. He says, did you try T'Challa without the apostrophe? Yeah, I did one time before, and I spelled it with one L.
That's how I spelled it. So that's how they got me.
Okay.
No apostrophe.
Omar Sy. Is he in the movie Shadow Force with Kerry Washington? Is that
Shout out to Omar Sy. That's my Bishop forever.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Shout out to Lupin.
Let's jump over to the world of Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah.
Very epic week at the box office. The last weekend we had 4 movies hit 20 million. Minecraft Sinners and Revenge of the Sith is the other one to hit for $20 million.
Yep.
Awesome. Good. Like Lucasfilm just made an automatic 45 million on that weekend. They barely advertised it. It was the 20-year anniversary. People wanted to enjoy it. They were giving Disney their money for something Disney didn't even create. But we kind of showed, you guys should probably do more of these. We kind of showed them that if you guys maybe in January, February, March, when movies are kind of low, you kind of do like a Star Wars re-release, we might actually show up for it. So I think they got to do something about that with what they own. They got to do like every weekend a new Star Wars movie, 1 to 9, and then they can see the drop off with 7, 8, and 9. And like let us have a vote. Like I love
that. So first of all, when they didn't spend a lot on the marketing, you're right, for the movie, for the re-release of the Sith. And I do think that it's telling that they can put a repurposed property back out there and make so much money off of it. Like that should be a clear sign to anybody in Lucasfilm who was spouting that Rey's our only viable character to move forward. Horse shit. But the thing that surprised me even more is how much they've been leaning on Hayden Christensen lately. They've been leaning on Hayden Christensen a lot lately. And this is coming around. There's rumors about a show happening all of a sudden. They got him and Samuel L. Jackson showing up to a screener for this thing. There is different energy going on right now in Lucasfilm. This is not what they were doing 5 years ago. They weren't doing this 2 years ago. They weren't doing this last year. They weren't doing this 365 days ago. Something is percolating in there. Maybe the rebels are winning, y'all. Maybe we win. Maybe. And maybe Emperor Kennedy will actually be out of here come this August. Maybe we can blow that goddamn Death Star up for good this time. I can't believe I say this. I have a little bit of hope in Lucasfilm. I have a little bit of hope. They're announcing stuff that isn't crap. that actually looks good.
The Sean Levy star fighter movie,
Well, we haven't seen anything of that. I really meant the animation stuff.
Oh, that you're right.
And then Ahsoka season 2.
That's coming. They're starting to shoot that.
But they haven't said anything about the stuff that we don't want to see just yet. Maybe, just maybe, there's some infighting that's keeping that stuff on the back burner. Fight on, rebels. Fight. May the force be with you.
Take off the nostalgia goggles, Marcus, because Hayden wanted to stay away from all the toxic prequel fans. Maybe that's what he thought it was, but those prequel fans grew up and they love him.
They love him now. And honestly, I don't think it was the prequel fans that really hated on Hayden Christensen. It was the original sequel fans. It was the only the first 3 movies is real George Lucas Star Wars kind of people that ragged on Hayden Christensen. If you grew up on the sequels, you loved Hayden Christensen. You loved him when you seen him on screen. You love him now, right? Because those were the movies that were coming out when I was a kid, and then I had to do my research about the first 3 episodes. So I don't know, man. I don't think the prequel fans is who he was running from. I think it was y'all OG Star Wars fans.
They had a good showing, like I told you guys last week about Star Wars Celebration. And I think Darius also agreed with us that it was a good celebration, a good outing. They kind of got out with like a better performance we ever thought they could do. My biggest takeaway from that last weekend was Kathleen Kennedy walking to the stage, and the applause for her dissipated when the music stopped. Everyone else, people are still cheering, yay, woo woo, yeah, oh, thank you, oh, take off their hat, hey. For her, it was the music was over, she was done. It was just quiet. Nobody booed her though.
Why did I know that this was Mike? Why did I know I described him perfectly? No, look, here's what it is. If you only think that New Hope, Empire, and Return are the only Star Wars movies, then I guess the last 20 years of cinema didn't happen for you. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I just don't know.
I'm glad Revenge of the Sith got its flowers for sure. I was like 23 when that came out. Loved it. Okay, Revenge of the Sith, it did what it's going to do. Lessons are going to be learned. People love Star Wars and the old stuff specifically. That audience exists. More reason to do more stuff in the prequel time period. More reason to use characters from like Mace Windu, for example, who Mace Windu is willing to do it. And every time you put a microphone in his face,
Bryce Dallas Howard, make that shit happen.
Yeah, this is free research, market research. They're telling you, the fans are telling you, we're still willing to pay for this. And the actor is alive. He's older. We want him to be healthy. We want him to live longer. He's older. You saw what happened with Carrie Fisher. You can't like guarantee they'll still be here. Not everyone's James Earl Jones, you know. Take advantage of the actor.
Yeah. I this is another reason why I kind of be giving Filoni a bit of a side eye. Why is he politicking with Bryce Dallas Howard about getting back into the Marvel universe? I mean, to the Star Wars universe, back in the Lucasfilm. Dave, are you not interested in touching Mace Windu? Like, that's not up your alley at all? We got to wait for like
he's busy.
Sometimes director in Lucasfilm, you know.
No, he's happening 6 years after Return of the Jedi with all the Mandalorians, the Ahsoka show, the Skeleton Crew. That's his world. He's stuck there. Someone else has to do it.
Come on. Okay, well, if Dave is going to be the savior, if he's going to end up taking this thing over, we're going to need to diversify out a little bit.
Okay.
You know, just a smidge, just a little bit.
Of course. Yeah, he's got to be able to think of different. I, as a fan, can do that. So can he.
Mm-hmm.
Every generation of Star Wars fans hates another generation of films. OGs hate everybody. Prequel hate the Disney film. Disney fans hate OG fans. And Lucasfilm just hates itself. Vincent.
I know she's part of the director's team. I'm saying, why are we starting there? Like, fam, go talk to the man. Somebody else in Lucasfilm above Bryce Dallas Howard has to be interested in getting Samuel L. Jackson in a picture, right? Like somebody else. I just don't think we start with someone who can't green light a production. That's what I mean.
I'm with it. Yeah.
Yes, I know she wrote in Mando. Did I say that she wasn't a writer? I said a sometime Star Wars writer, didn't I? Yeah, okay. A writer on the Star Wars directing team, or a director on the Star Wars directing team.
Yes. The other movie that grossed over 20 million was called The Accountant 2. And I didn't watch The Accountant 1. So that was it. It was a great
What?
weekend.
You haven't seen The Accountant?
Nah.
It's a good film.
Well, clearly it has a 2. So they would only do that if it was a good film the first time, right?
John Bernthal and Ben Affleck.
What's up, Darkroom Reviews? He's got a channel. Check him out. Cleve says, they don't care about Mace. Look at what Marvel did to Nick Fury. They gave him a show. They gave him 6 episodes. So give Mace 6 episodes, and hopefully it'll turn out a little better. Star Wars needs new characters on screen. Tell a new story. I'm tired of the same stories within the old story. Yeah. What is Mandalorian? He's a new character. Grogu, he's a new character. He didn't exist 5 years ago.
But
right?
so when we try to do new, they go haywire a bit. Maybe we should stop with the new for just a bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know, just for a while. Just long enough past August. Then they can do all the new stuff that they want to do after August.
Count wasn't bad. Hey, we got a super sticker. Reviews with the 99 cents or $99. It's red. Is that $99? No.
99 cents.
99 cents. It's red. I've never seen a red one before. Thank you, regardless. Appreciate the love. Secret Invasion definitely was not a Fury show. What's up, Ishid? What's up? What's up? What's up? Michael Nemo says, they made Nick Fury black. Samuel liked that, I'm guessing. Yeah. I've seen him said it in an interview, actually, that he noticed that the comic book, when he was reading the comic book, that looks just like me. He tried to get his lawyers on it, but then they hired him for the movie. So, yeah. This is 07, 08s, right?
And that's why he's been camping in the MCU for as long as he have. So they never have to pay him. That's insane. It's so crazy.
The original Daredevil and Punisher. I'm guessing Ben Affleck or Charlie Cox is in the movie with Bernthal.
No, the original Daredevil would be Ben Affleck. I don't know. He's not the original Punisher. I don't know why I say original Punisher. Or he said original Daredevil / Punisher team up. So not original Punisher, but just regular Punisher.
They're both in the movie Accountants, right?
Yeah. Sam Jackson getting RDJ movie money? No. No.
I'm sure he got paid well for Secret Invasion, though.
What up, Pam?
Hello.
RDJ money? Not nowhere near.
Oh, no.
He wishes.
Chris Claremont. I think that's the last thing on the docket here. Christopher Claremont from the X-Men.
He was over there gabbing, boy. He was just saying stuff.
Are you Team Studio? Because I'm Team Studio. What is this writer doing? We give you the consultant role. We give you the benefit of having this extra information, and you go out on stage talking about, well, Jean Grey's coming back. It's going to be the Phoenix. Elizabeth Olsen's coming back. Hey, Chris Evans, he's playing multiple roles, versions of Hydra, Captain America, and Robert Downey's back as Iron Man, which is the biggest secret you can keep. He's back as Dr. Doom, Iron Man. He's everything. Robert Downey is he's a utility player. He's all over that movie. This guy spoiled a whole bunch of things in that interview.
So,
Chris Claremont, yeah, you go.
I heard the shit about Elizabeth Olsen and about Jean Grey. All the rest of that shit you just said, you just dropped on me just now.
Yeah, Chris Claremont, he revealed way too much. It makes you think, like, doesn't he know you're not supposed to do this? Or theorists.
How old is Chris Claremont?
75?
75?
He's up there.
Okay. Old people don't give a shit about you telling them that they can't say shit. You can't tell them stuff that you don't want other people to know. Like, that's old people 101. Don't tell your grandparents nothing that you don't want floating around the rest of the family. They got all the time in the world on their hands, and when they get an opportunity to tell some business, they want to tell it. You cannot tell Chris Claremont at 75 years old, hey, listen, here's a whole bunch of interesting information. Don't tell nobody. I blame Marvel. I blame Marvel.
Now, do you change that? Do you make Chris Evans no longer the Human Torch in this movie? Do you recast him?
I'm sure they're going to panic and change some of that stuff. Don't because that's how Marvel operates. When they get caught in something, they usually don't let it just stick and let it ride unless it's too late. You know, unless
it's not too late now.
It's not
very
too late,
early.
but they also don't usually pivot all like that. That's why the Daredevil rewrite was such a shocker and was such a signal to fans that this may be good, because they don't typically do that. They don't scrap things and start from beginning. I'm also hearing that the Doomsday script is not even finished.
It's never going to be finished. Yeah.
Again, another thing we know about Marvel, all of this stuff is constantly in flux. Mm-hmm. He's probably wrapping off a version of what they wrote for Doomsday. Is it the same version today? I don't know, more or less, maybe, probably, who knows? I think there's enough intrigue around it that he didn't completely ruin the movie, but he was gabbing a lot.
Way too much. It makes you think, wait, shouldn't you have signed an NDA? Maybe this isn't violating his NDA, because if you put the theory hat on, hey, let's make sure we understand how people are feeling about this. Hey, Chris Claremont, you're on a code top secret S rank mission. Let this spill, and then we're going to navigate all the YouTube channels. We'll check out Pantheon on Thursday. We'll check out John Campio's channel and see how they all feel about the different characters coming back to play their past characters. And I'm all for it. It sounds like a fun, interesting plot point to me. So I'm with it. It's a multiverse movie. Go all out with your multiverse. And after this movie, I never want to see alternate versions again. So go have fun with it. Yeah.
It's almost like they woke up and they were like, oh shit, we have an infinite amount of characters that we can just plug in and just use. And we can just use the existing actors that we have to fill all those spots. And they realized it like a few days ago. It was like, we've been stuck in the multiverse phase for 2 phases, for real, for phase 4 and phase 5. And we've done minimal universe jumping, like minimal. We went to the place in Loki. We were at the TVA. We hit a couple different universes in Multiverse of Madness. And we went to the quantum realm. Like, that's it. And there was no exploration. There was no deep dive into these other places. There was a little bit of interaction in Multiverse of Madness, but again, that was it.
Multiverse of Midness.
You could have. I actually like that movie, but
I liked it too. I'm just having fun.
Yeah,
it wasn't that mad though, but it was a good movie.
Yeah, but they could have been doing this entire time. They could have been milking this the entire time, and they've been so drip that now they have to vomit everything out on Doomsday. They ain't got no other choice. They have no other opportunities.
Coming out for WandaVision, they gave Agatha all along a show. They could have given the X-Men and Monica Rambeau a show, and we could get her name Photon finally said on TV, but it is what it is. They did what they did. Chris Claremont is not going to be fired. He's not going to be reprimanded. Nothing bad will come of him. He won't even do what Denzel did, where later on we found out he apologized and there was like a public
Denzel's another one. Yeah, I'm going to be in Black Panther 3. I'm going to be playing a character. Denzel, relax. Just talking. Y'all. You just get the gabbing.
And it actually might not happen. They are still writing that. Nothing's finalized yet. Like, he's not in it. I was watching Ryan Coogler do a lot of interviews during this press run for Sinners, like every one of them, just to hear if he mentions recast T'Challa. And it's clear to me Coogler is writing a part for Denzel. Denzel didn't accept. There's no contract was given out. Like, this is just something they want to do. They're working on it. And we really shouldn't know about things that early. That's like James Gunn, basically. You know how James Gunn cancels things? It's because we know about them early. Or like Kathleen Kennedy, we know about these things early. And then it's like, bro, why do you even announce it? So that's why I understand why they would be upset. Because the thought of Denzel Washington needs to only come out in Black Panther 3. Needs to only come out when it's confirmed he's in Black Panther 3.
If you
Marcus, you really sounded like Denzel.
I guarantee it. Oh, yeah. No, thank you, Johnny Washington. Appreciate it. Marcus Washington. You put me in Black Panther 3, it's going to be $1 billion hit. I guarantee it.
Which movie is that from, the I guarantee it part?
I don't know. It's one of those things where like you can hear the character saying it, but never really puts your finger on where you heard it. Like, I didn't realize that. Nigga, get your hands off me. Like, he said that only like twice. He said it in Glory, and he said it in Malcolm X, I think it was.
Oh, I heard Jamie Foxx say it. I thought it was his thing.
Yeah, and you thought he'd been saying that for years. He only said it like 2 times. He said it in Glory and he said it in Malcolm X, and he didn't say it the same way both times. He said it different.
It's like, all right, all right, all right.
Hands off me.
Yeah, every actor has their little catchphrase. Oh, more than just actors. Wrestlers have it. Lil Jon has a couple.
Yeah.
That's Lil Jon.
There are some people that have a very prominent like demeanor or voice inflection, so it's like easier to catch on to. Denzel's one of those guys. It's very easy to mimic.
Thank you for you movie sleuths telling us it's about American Gangster is where I guarantee it came from.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Chi-Town, how do you feel about Jamie Lawson?
Whew.
Pearline. Yeah.
Man.
I'd like to see her in more things.
Hey, shout out to Miles, man. I understand you, Miles. But I want that to be the next storm. I want that to be the next storm for sure. I'm pulling for her. I really am. Let's leave Jodie Turner over there in Acolyteville where she chose. She already chose. She got her shot. Okay, she had her chance. She chose Leslie Hetland. Let's move on to Jamie Lawson.
Word.
I could see her playing Shard too. Trying to watch you to say you could play Bishop's sister, but I would much prefer Storm. I would much rather prefer. So,
you think Halle Berry comes in Secret Wars? Well, Chris Claremont didn't mention her, so probably not.
Wait, what you gonna fight me, Tina? What you want? What's up? Squabble up.
I want Jade Cargill for Storm. Yeah. I do too, but only for a cameo appearance. I know she's not an actor, and I think that an actor needs to be carrying that role. So no, unless she's just there for one movie. Oh, look, it's another Storm. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, if we're doing this thing where there's like a million variants of everybody, Jade Cargill can actually stand in the back and just wear the suit. She don't even gotta say all that much. You know what I'm saying? Just look cool, maybe do some shit with your hands. You know what I mean? If you get into a battle scene, you know how to fight. I really want to see her act. I want to see her get in front of the camera and act, like read lines and see if she can do it. Because I maybe not Storm. Maybe we're a little too far down her career for her to be Storm. But other action roles, I would watch Jade Cargill in an action movie if she could read. You know, if she could convince me.
Right. Any more on Claremont?
Man, leave Christopher Claremont alone. Y'all shouldn't have gave him that much information to begin with. You know, overloaded him with information.
You think he's lying though? Do you think like he is just like, you know, people will believe him if I say this? I wasn't on set. I had no consulting at all. You think he's lying?
I don't think he would lie. Where would the motivation come from? Unless he was intentionally trying to tank something or to create expectations that weren't going to be fulfilled. He would have to be trying to hurt Marvel. And I think Christopher Claremont is in a position he's decently good in with Marvel right now. I don't think he's
not Rob Liefeld or Bo DeMeo.
Yeah, but I say he's not suing or complaining, so it seems like he's doing okay.
I can't wait for Bo DeMeo to actually announce his next project, whether it's an industry thing or creator-owned thing. Get on it.
First of all, don't be trying to claim Jamie Lawson and you got her behind Jodie Turner Smith. So you go ahead and take Jodie Turner Smith then, Tina. That's who you want for Storm. Y'all can have her. Y'all can keep JTS. Y'all can have her. I wish DeWanda, but DeWanda's not gonna get the call. It doesn't seem like. It seems like they got their eyes set on a younger set of actresses. So, which is crazy because I don't think her and Jodie Turner Smith is really all that far off in age. So
yeah, 38 and 40.
Yeah, so y'all screaming all that JTS stuff.
Sarah Haley Finn is the casting director for Star Wars, and she does casting for Marvel. She's probably thinking of the same crop, and that's probably why we have repeats in both franchises.
Yuck.
Yeah. We good to go? No Darius, so we finish in under 2 hours, I guess. It was a good stream.
For sure, man. This was a good one. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I think we went through the whole emotional spectrum. We was talking about depression. We was arguing about sinners. We was all in agreement about some other stuff about James Gunn. I think we went through the whole roller coaster. We all fam in here.
We
In the
exposed
club,
rock
we all
stars
fam.
in the club.
In the club, we all fam.
Go check out Spoiler Kings. I'm sure they're streaming right now, so guys, give them a view. Is there anything else you guys want to say? Here, let's read comments for the next 3 minutes. 3 minutes of just reading comments. Go crazy. Juicy Smell A for Nightcrawler. Not that crazy. Where's Darius? It's like technical issues more than anything with Darius. He'll be here one day. Awesome. I will not be rewinding this, by the way. Love you, chill. Rewind it. You got to see the beginning where we talk about Sergeant Rock and the DC stuff, right? We gave James Gunn his credit for being the Kathleen Kennedy, or Kathleen Kennedy-esque. He's getting there. In the trap, we all fam. Chill. What hair relaxer do you use?
That's crazy.
Yeah, yes. I don't give you guys personal information like that, bro. You gotta pull up to the store.
No. It's crazy that she asked, but it's not personal. What hair relaxer do you use? Do you use hair relaxer?
I can't confirm nor deny, guys. I am an online personality. Don't think of me as anything else.
This man don't even want y'all to know his true hair texture. That's nuts.
That's right. That's the gimmick, bro. I'm chillmonger. You can ask me about movies and stuff, and ask me about comics.
Don't ask me about me.
Nah, you'll get that access. I missed the James section, lol. Yeah, that was earlier when we started. I'll say this. When Darius is around, you two seem to always have some kind of adversity with each other. I noticed that too, Michael, and I'll say it's easier for me to combat something Marcus says when there's like a guy in the middle to, when two people are going at it, there's like a cooler head or something. So I know not to disagree with Marcus too strongly. So when we're talking about Haley Steinfeld, there's a reason why we both, I think intentionally, we both didn't go too hard at each other with it, right? But we disagreed there. Sergeant Rock was unnecessary film to begin with. Exactly. Ironheart comes out in like 3 weeks and still no marketing. No, it's not. It's coming out in June. Don't say it 3 weeks. Well, it's May, isn't it?
May 1st. It's May 1st.
Yeah, time flies. Okay, the Ironheart comes June 24th. We're due for a trailer. We're due.
They better do something.
Darius might be a catalyst for Discord, lol. He has a Discord. Oh, the word Discord.
Discord.
Yeah. Of course he is. This is uncharted territories with just two people doing it, and I'm suffering. I'm really trying really hard to get this right. I think I'm doing a good job though. You got natural wavy hair. Appreciate that. It doesn't look like. Did Marcus call me a girl? Yeah, he did. Fight.
My bad, King's Portal.
That's all I am, guys. All I am is a username of some dude who says he lives in Canada. You don't even know that. You can't confirm that. Ironheart is a delayed turd. I'll put it this way. I'll say it all again and again. They changed this release date 2 years. 2 years. Nothing significant happens where you can change something for 2 years. There's a scene in the Thunderbolts movie which references Brave New World. No spoilers, but there is. Meaning that movie had to come out after Brave New World. They can't do that with Ironheart because nothing. Like, what will reference? Wakanda Forever? Nothing here is significant enough
out of place
to move the story. And Nate Moore said, "I don't care about Mephisto." Well, Mephisto's in this show, so it's a character you don't care about. That's how worthless the show is. How do you feel about One World Under Doom comic run? I'm not reading that. But I'm also, there's like this new comic book with T'Challa dying and he has his heir take over. I'm not pre-ordering that comic book. Issue 2 was when that happens. And it's a limited series. It's sort of like a future storyline. But still, I can't tell these guys that you can make money with it. Are you going to read that comic?
The Christopher Priest one?
No, it's not Priest. No, it is Priest. It is Priest. You're right.
Priest. It is. Yeah. Yep. No, probably not. Probably not.
I'm not even going to boot like that. I won't cover it. I won't even give it attention. I can't, because why magnify? Why put a spotlight on this character dying in the comic books and Toussaint taking over.
It's worth mentioning again. This is a concept he pitched to Marvel before Chadwick Boseman passed. I don't want to be too hard on Christopher Priest, but the timing is just wrong timing for a book like this for sure.
They're casting him, they're hiring him to do the dirty work. You know that general who just recently was speaking about Burkina Faso, Michael Langley, the person who sits on the World Security Council who vetoes should we cease fire, should we recognize Palestine as a state. They'll always use a blackface to do it, and that's what Christopher Priest is fulfilling right now. He's the blackface.
Yeah, it's a black woman that has the veto in the UN. Yep.
Go watch my most recent video, not just you, Marcus, but everyone talking about Burkina Faso and how they actually have a real life African leader, inspirational. He does all the things we want T'Challa to provide. And guess who doesn't really like that he's alive? Johnny says Aliens versus Avengers comics is dope. Would you like to see that in the MCU? Yeah, but I that's not happening. It would be cool concept, of course.
I actually like the Predators versus books that were going on. I had the issues of Wolverine versus Predator, and then I picked up the first issue of Black Panther versus Predator. So yeah, no, I mean, I think it would be good conceptually. They own it all, so why not? But will they ever?
This is the movie to do it. The Secret Wars Doomsday crossover movies. This is where you get.
If I see a damn Predator in Doomsday now, that will be a level of nostalgia meter burst I wasn't prepared for.
You get Black Widow versus Kim Possible. If they own the property, let's do it. I want to know who's the next Black Panther. You got to understand things move on. Damson Idris is going to be the next Black Panther.
No, not saying Priest isn't a good writer. He's probably the most renowned and respected Black Panther writer. I just think this is the wrong time to roll out this concept.
Guesses as to which state Chill would I be from if he was lying about being from Canada? I am actually in Canada, but I could be lying.
Let's say it would still be somewhere north. Definitely not southern enough.
Give me Michigan.
I would say Upper Peninsula, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, somewhere in there.
Yeah, give me the Central Time Zone. I love the Central Time Zone, bro.
He's a Youper.
You seen the thumbnail for my video? Yeah, check it out. The thumbnail says they're trying to do what they did with him, Black Panther T'Challa, with Ibrahim Traoré from Burkina Faso. Appreciate you guys for popping in here on this Thursday. No Darius, no problem. On Sunday, Marcus will be live streaming with his cohort Josh from Back of the Bus. Is this going to be an in-person one? You guys going to be sitting on the couch together, or will it be online?
We will be on the couch. We'll be live and in person because YouTube hates when we stream from StreamYard. So yeah, we'll be live. Check us out live and back in action. Check out the Sinners review we'll have posted up in the morning. Yell at me in there. Use all 120 characters or whatever it is. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Yup.
That's it.
I'm trying to put my link in the
Tyler Perry presents Medea Takes Over Zeus Network. Oh, maybe Tubi takes over Tubi. More likely.
Hey, who do you do the show with on Sunday?
Oh, cue to Josh.
Hey, I've been watching y'all every single time on Thursday and Friday because I swear to God, y'all switch up every now and then. But rock out. I'm fucking with it. I'm out.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
I know.